He took the shotgun.
Calm down.
And he put it right under here like this. And he said, it wouldn't take anything for me to just blow you away. And I remember praying that he would calm down.
It wasn't a stranger who held Almita Mack at gunpoint. It was her husband. This pattern of abuse lasted for 18 years.
This is the house where most of the abuse took place. And I would get so afraid, so scared when he would put that key in the door.
Because Almita knew that when her alcoholic husband came home, the abuse would start.
He would do the open hand in the face, you know, the back and forth with the slapping, and he would take my head and he would like hit me in my head. And if he would hit me, if he did a fist thing, it would be where you wouldn't be able to know. It's like in my back or in my stomach.
Ironically, Almita's father was also an alcoholic. She craved his attention but never received it, so she looked for that love in others. At 18, she met Thomas. She became pregnant, so she left home and they married.
I married somebody just like my dad. My dad used to drink, my dad used to chase women. My husband drank. My husband chased women.
But what Almita didn't expect was his violent nature, which erupted soon after they married.
We had a little argument and then he hit me. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm just gonna hit him back and that's gonna be the end of it. When I hit him back, he lost it. And he beat me really bad. And from then on, it was like the beatings, and then he would tell me, you're stupid, you're dumb, you can't do anything right.
Her oldest son, Gerald, remembers how helpless he felt when he tried to protect his mother.
When he began to beat her, I got in between and I pushed him. And he just slapped me down to the floor, you know. And ever since then, I was always kind of afraid of my father. I would go and sit by the bathroom door while it was closed and I'd hear her crying, you know. It's really hard to even really talk about, you know.
Twice, Almita took out restraining orders on her husband. She even left him, but her own mother encouraged her to return. One day, Almita agreed to go to church with a friend, but that Friday night, she went to a party and got high on marijuana.
I got so high, I got paranoid. And I thought I was losing my mind. So I laid back down. And then it felt like God was on one side of me and Satan was on the other side of me. And it was like they were combating over me for my soul.
That Sunday, she went to church as promised. The battle for her soul was about to end.
I felt convicted because I wasn't living what he was preaching, but I felt good because he was telling me how I could live what he was preaching. And it was like, oh my God.
After the service, the pastor came over to talk to Almita.
And he said, would you like to be saved? And I was like, I don't know. And he began to tell me about God and how Jesus came and died for us to bring us back to him. And I mean, the love that he began to tell me about God, tears began to just stream down my face. And I began to say, yes, I want that.
That day, Almita asked Jesus into her heart.
Oh God, the tears began to just come, and I could feel such a weight lifting off of me.
Almita wanted her husband to experience that same freedom, so she began to pray for him.
And I was to say, God, I want him to know what real love and liberty is before he leaves this earth.
But Thomas never changed. A year later, he died of a massive heart attack. Almita realized in order to move on with her life, she had to do something very important.
I just had his license with his picture on it. And I began to drive one day. And I began to talk to him. And I said, I forgive you. I forgive you for everything that you've done to me. I forgive you for everything that you did to my kids.
God began to restore her life. Instead of becoming a victim of her past, God gave her the courage to reach out to other victims of abuse. Over the next 8 years, Almita studied to become an ordained minister. She also met Bobby, the man she eventually married.
I was like, there's something different about this man.
When I first saw her, I remember telling the Lord that I needed someone just like that.
When I gave her away, it made me feel good to know that she's getting a man that's saved.
As I began to sing this song, I remember the Spirit of the Lord in the place. And I began to say, this is not an ordinary love.
You see God saying, I want you to listen to the words because I did this. And you're praising God inside. I was feeling all of this walking down the aisle and I felt so good. I felt really good.
Today, Almeda enjoys a loving marriage with her new husband. It far outweighs any pain of her past.
I remember when I was married to Thomas at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I used to hate to hear that key turn in that door. And after I married Bobby, at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, I would wake up and I hear him praying. And I would lay back and I would say, God, I thank you, because it has totally changed. God is a healer, he's a deliverer, because he has delivered me. I mean, totally delivered me. He's everything. He's everything to me. God did not allow death to come. And God allowed me to make it through that because he had a plan and a destiny for my life. God has blessed me. He has turned everything around in my life. So I know without a shadow of a doubt, all things do work together for the good of those that love God.